Hello friends, welcome to my channel Grammarian Bhai. And today let's solve Act 5, Scene 1 of Class 10 from Workbook of Julius Caesar. And if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. So let's begin. So here is the multiple choice questions. So the first one, which hopes of Octavius are answered? So here option B is correct. The armies of the conspirators advance towards Philippi. Second, what region does Antony give for the enemy's advance towards Philippi? So here option A is correct. To hide their fears and show their unity. Number 3, Cassius compares Antony's sweet words with which of the following? So here option C is correct. Honey made by Habla bees. Number 4, when does Octavius say his sword will go back into his sheath? So here option B is correct. When 33 wounds of Caesar have been avenged. Number 5, who has been described by Cassius as a peevish schoolboy? Here option D is correct. Octavius Caesar. Number 6, with whom has Cassius compared himself in this scene? So here option B is correct. Pompey. Number 7, Cassius has changed his mind about the doctrine of Epicurus regarding which of the following? So here option D is correct. Omens and premonitions. Number 8, who according to Cassius has formed a canopy most fatal over their heads? So here option B is correct. Crows and kites. 9. How does Brutus define Cato's act of committing suicide? So here option C is correct. Low and cowardly. Number 10. Why would Cassius and Brutus smile at each other if they meet again? So here option A is correct. It will be after their victory over their enemies. Next is the contextual questions. So you read the extract. Let me provide you the solutions directly. So here is the first question. What are they referred to in first line? What warning could they give? From where they would come to Philippi? So the answer could be they referred to Brutus and Cassius and their armies in first line. They would warn that their armies are ready to confront Antony and Octavius in battle. They come from Sardis. Second one, give the meaning of A. Answering before we do demand of them. It means they take initiative to challenge us before we even demand an explanation. B. I am in their bosoms. It means I know their true intentions and thoughts intimately. Third one, whose military strategy had dictated that the battle should take place at Philippi? What had Brutus argued regarding this strategy? So the answer will be Brutus' military strategy has dictated that the battle should take place at Philippi. He argued that it would be better to confront the armies there rather than waiting for them to grow stronger. Number 4, what did Octavius hope that the enemy would do? What, according to him, is the intention of the enemy? So the answer will be Octavius hoped that the enemy would advance towards them. According to him, the intention of the enemy is to show false courage and unity, trying to appear brave and formidable. Next question, number 5. What, according to Antony, is the planning of the enemy? Why does Antony feel so confident that he knows what the enemy intends to show? So the answer will be, according to Antony, the enemy's plan is to appear courageous and unified. Antony feels confident because he knows what the enemies intend to show, or he understands their true motives. Next extract number 2, and the first question is, Whose is the tongue of which Cassius speaks? Give the substances of what the tongue had said which so offended Cassius. So the answer will be Cassius speaks of Antony's tongue. Antony was insulted Cassius and Brutus for killing Caesar. He called them out for their betrayal and questioned their honor. Second, give a brief explanation of the earlier episode that Cassius is referring to when he reminds Brutus that he has only himself to thank for the present situation. So the answer could be Cassius is referring to the decision given by Brutus to Antony to speak to the crowd after the assassination of Caesar. Cassius had advised to kill even Antony along with Caesar, but Brutus disagreed, believing Antony was not a threat. Next, question number 3. Give the comments made by Cassius in his next speech when he scornfully describes Octavius. So the answer will be Cassius describes Octavius scornfully as a peevish schoolboy, means he is immature, inexperienced, and unfit to lead. Number 4. What does Octavius mean by the cause? State in your own words the meaning of the last two lines of the passage. Or till another Caesar's sword of traitors. So the answer will be Octavius means that reason for their fight, which is to avenge Caesar's death. The last two lines mean that Octavius will not put away his sword until Caesar's death is fully avenged or another leader like Caesar is killed by traitors. Number 5. Was Octavius successful in his task of vengeance? How does the play end? So the answer will be yes, Octavius was successful in his task of vengeance. The play ends with the defeat and suicides of Brutus and Cassius. Octavius and Antony emerge victorious and take control of Rome. Next, extract number 3, and the first question is, in this extract, Cassius narrates something he had seen. What is it? Did he believe the significance of such things earlier in his life? Why? So the answer will be Cassius narrates seeing two mighty eagles perched on their ensign, feeding from the soldiers' hands. Earlier, Cassius did not believe in omens because he followed the philosophy of Epicurus, which dismissed such superstitions. Yes, change in birds' behavior helped him to believe in omens. Second one, give the meaning of as we were sickly prey, their shadows seemed a canopy most fatal. What do these lines signifies? It means that the birds are associated with death and decay. Their shadows create an ominous and deadly cover over the enemy, suggesting impending doom. This signifies belief that their army is destined for death and defeat. Number 3, what did Cassius see on the previous day and that particular morning? What do these signs signify? So the answer will be on the previous day, Cassius saw two eagles perched on their ensign, feeding from the soldiers' hands. The next morning they leapt, and ravens, crows, and kites had replaced. These signs signify a bad omens, indicating that their army is in grave danger and possibly facing defeat. Number 4. How can you conclude from what Cassius says a little later that he was prepared for a possible defeat? So the answer will be Cassius expresses his fear and resignation to fate. The omen gave sign that their chances of victory is slim. He is mentally preparing for the possible defeat and death. Number 5. How does Brutus console him? So the answer will be Brutus consoles Cassius by reminding him that fate is not in their hands and that they should face whatever come with courage. He also suggests to maintain their honor and integrity regardless of the outcome of the battle. Next extract number 4, and the first question is, what had Brutus just said which makes Cassius say the words given in the extract? Which Roman practice is referred to in Cassius' speech? So the answer will be Brutus had just expressed his readiness to face the consequences of their actions and hinted at the possibility of their defeat. Cassius refers to the Roman practice of parading captured enemies through the streets of Rome as their triumphal processions. Second, state briefly to what extent Brutus bears a great mind. So the answer will be Brutus bears a great mind as he values his honor and principles above his life. He refuses to be paraded as captive. He keeps his dignity even in the face of defeat and death. Number 3, what has begun on the Ides of March? How will the words of Brutus be prophetic? So the answer will be the assassination of Julius Caesar was begun on the Ides of March. Brutus' words are prophetic because conflict that started with Caesar's murder will culminate in their final battle, determining the ultimate outcome and possibly their defeats and death. Next, do Cassius and Brutus meet again? Why? So the answer will be no. Cassius and Brutus do not meet again because they both commit suicide during the battle, unable to face the dishonor of being captured and paraded through the streets of Rome. The last one, Brutus and Cassius are affected by the latest events. This makes them act in a different way than their normal behavior. Give one incident to illustrate this. So the answer could be Cassius started believing in the omens and superstitions by seeing the changed behavior of birds. This shift in belief shows how the stress and anticipation of the battle have changed his usual rational mindset. And if you think the video is helpful to you, please subscribe the channel and like the video.